Namo Namo Shi So Hai Ye Chedang Zu Ye Chu Nang Lai Jiang Chu Ba Du Dang Di Gyab Su Ji Da Ge Chu Nian Ki Be Cu Nang Gi No La Ben Jie Sang Ge Zhu Ba Shu Chedang Zu Ge Chu Nang Lai Jiang Chu Ba Du Dang Di Gyab Su Ji Da Ge Chu Nian Ki Be Cu Nang Gi No La Ben Jie Sang Ge Zhu Ba Shu 去当作给出那了，将就我都当地给手机，打给去年给别从那给中华本街上给主播说，给就是没多长，虽然零星你得看跑的，上给心头没得我也这个当大新了就不说，不如让他们打打看你呀打呀。我多么理解的这个是吧？我那是给的，他的钱，他的钱，他在那马修的这个马修的，这些慢点的，台湾的台湾的，我就东南把所有第一个，这些慢点的台湾的第一就主要是什么？就根本就根本，他们就有些你们慢慢来新进来，我都是没把这情况个意思。Please adjust your sitting posture according to the 7 meditative postures of Vairocana. And think, all sentient beings have been my mothers. All sentient beings have been my mothers, not just once, but for numberless times. All sentient beings are as kind as my mother in this life. Even though all kind mother sentient beings want happiness and do not want even a small suffering, due to engaging wrongly in objects of adoptions and abandonment, they do not experience happiness even for a moment. They only experience suffering. In our mind, sincerely generate loving kindness towards all kind mother sentient beings, thinking, how nice it would be if all kind mother sentient beings were to have happiness and the causes of happiness that are virtues. May they have happiness and the causes of happiness. Or cause them to have happiness and the causes of happiness. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so. This is the one that is Monday. Big men are saying, you want to never let the video make you cover from Germany. Or to you to the show, the show, the normal and she did not say, similar to ninja ways. Next, we generate compassion towards all suffering mother sentient beings by thinking, how nice it would be if the bodies of all suffering mother sentient beings were free from the class discordant with a conflicting virtue, such as physical suffering, pain, sickness, and problems caused by 4 elements. May their bodies be free from the discordant class. I will free their bodies from the discordant class. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so. What is it? The one that can use one to eat and get out the water. Oh, she got all the way to the cinema, Lama, and she did not see to see what they do. How nice it would be if the minds of all suffering mother sentient beings were free from the class discordant with a conflicting virtue. All coarse and subtle mental suffering such as fear, and all negative discuss and all coarse and subtle negative discursive thoughts. May their minds be free from the discordant class. Or free their minds from the discordant class. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so. How nice it would be if the speech of all suffering Mother Sentient beings were free from the class discordant with a conflicting virtue. All coarse and subtle negative speech, such as lying, I will free that may their speech be free from the discordant class. I will free their speech from the discordant class. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so. How nice it would be if the three doors of all suffering Mother Sentient beings were free from the class discordant with a conflicting virtue. May their three doors be free from the discordant class. I will free their three doors from the discordant class. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so. How nice it would be if all Mother Sentient beings were free from suffering and the causes of suffering that are non-virtues. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. I will free them from suffering and the causes of suffering. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so. Next, we generate bodhicitta. First, we ask ourselves, who should take on the responsibility to free all Mother Sentient beings from the sufferings of samsara and of lower realms? I should take on the responsibility to free all Mother Sentient beings from the sufferings of samsara and of lower realms. Even though I should take on the responsibility, I do not have the ability to do so now. Who has such abilities? Only those who have achieved the perfectly complete enlightenment have the abilities to do so. Therefore, for the sake of all Mother Sentient beings, by all means, I will achieve the precious state of enlightenment. Next, we generate all-encompassing yoga mind. The aspiring conventional bodhicitta that thinks, for the sake of all mother sentient beings, I will achieve the state of enlightenment. These transform into a perfect, complete mundis at one's heart. And the ultimate bodhicitta, that is one's mind becoming one taste with emptiness, all phenomena like inherent existence, that transform into a white five-pronged vajra on top of a mundis. Next, we meditate on emptiness for a short while, that I do not exist as inherently one with or inherently different from the aggregates. Thus, I do not exist inherently. If I and the aggregates were inherently one, then they would become inseparable partless one. If I and the aggregates were inherently different, they would become unrelatedly other. As I always mention, it is important to conjoin the roots of virtue of our three doors with the practice of six perfections. Thus, to conjoin this session with the practice of six perfections, the first one is generosity. The nature of generosity is a mind of giving. These 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on the Dharma is for the sake of purifying suffering and giving happiness of sentient beings. Next is morality. The nature of morality is a mind of abandonment. When I listen to, contemplate, and meditate on the Dharma, I will properly abandon my physical and verbal negativities so that they do not manifest. Next is patience. The nature of patience is an undisturbed mind. When I listen to, contemplate, and meditate on the Dharma, I will patiently accept any physical or mental hardships that occur. If I'm able to do so, then this session will be able to conjoin with the practice of patience. Next is joyous effort. Joyous effort is a mind that takes delight in virtue. So I will take I will delightfully and enthusiastically engage in the actions of listening, contemplating, and meditating on the Dharma.
That is something so the same in the Corona city. Chila, they go up. Some was a chip because the time under the Maya of the Mando say, yes, I was a chip be short and I see the city they have made the Vaina. But they was a better than some person.
Next is concentration. The nature of concentration is a mind that single-pointedly focuses on any virtuous object. When I listen to, contemplate, and meditate on the Dharma, I will single-pointedly focus my mind on the virtuous object without being influenced by distractions and discursive thoughts. Next is wisdom. The nature of wisdom is the knower that thoroughly distinguishes phenomena. I will properly and unmistakably understand the words and meanings of the Dharma that I listen to, contemplate, and meditate on. If I am able to do so, this session would be conjoined with the practice of wisdom. Set a good motivation. For the sake of all other sentient beings, I will achieve the state of enlightenment. For these, I will receive the Mahayana teachings and practice accordingly in order to benefit sentient beings.
Oh, yeah. It's something hard. Katu dodo lodin chembason shiwashi rebuchebo the jeans and the Zayabris. Also, no budget the Shah year, get to the new budget the Shah messin. There was a fashion channel. Come, this level, it's okay. New budget the Shah Muduna, fashion chia tires of Mese, was an year. But that is Shah was a lot. New budget Shahs and the Katu there was in Chembason, Joashi, rebuchebo the J. Was like
So we, in the first class, we talked about the 8 categories. And if someone were to ask you, so what are these 8 categories? If you are unable to answer to that question, then it shows that most probably then you have not studied perfection's subject before. So simply put, these 8 categories, they are the 3 exalted knowers, 4 applications, and the resultant truth body. So this makes the 8 categories.
What is what? That was about Chesu the Mandos about it, cousin. You were seen on the numbers you had to this to the Tayama. You Chesu Chewa. That kind of you were seen the top numbers you had my shiver. That numbers you had the kind of that seemed the much that numbers you had the Jewish on top numbers you had the shiver. That numbers you had the shiver, you see the Carson. Numbers you had the kind of Kapshima Pinch Zochi, numbers you was it each other. Kapshima. That Kapjibo the Kabiri, my things watching your that Kashima teaches so much about it. That's a novel joy here. Pick up Shibago, teaches what novel joy, novel joy. Boy, Gino Tombo and Chipper, you say that's not. Nobody teaches so much of it. Chase it, seizure, and repeat seizures of teacher. Come up and repeat seizure. Come up and repeat seizure, and repeat seizure. Seizure, chasing number like 1 to be chedo, 1 to bala. 와,刚刚把定期做就其实弄不了，哇，这个这就跌，这个这就跌头一切都，其实弄不了，往头跌都他们弄出去，就是对吧？也是哇，其实弄出去的其实弄不了，往头跌的，是吧？
弄出去了，
弄出去的
对对，
我其实弄不了，往头跌，
是
吧？其实弄不了，往头个是呢，刚刚把定期做起来，你这个这就跌那个，其实弄不了，往头有嘛。我但其实能把它往出来一切都，也往我的一切，我把第一切都当那子说挺好的也是，但那子说你不自己投吧，那子说的，投吧投，那话，那子说他不投过。
你哋其實點這部這就啲往後嘅切讀，
我必須
啲後嘅切讀，你哋估計啲諗住做下啲談補啲寫法嚟，你哋依把啲啲這就啲寫俾佢先啲樣這部這就啲往後吧，
這我就這就得往後吧的話，你不這就得往後吧的，點點往後吧啲，你不這就後吧啲切到，當不那子說，那子說往後點的，往後點的那子說對吧？也是。其實弄不了往頭去，
這就咯，這就啲往後俾切讀。
哦，就那就對，也是，你這不這就是我吧
？So we talk about 4 applications, and the first out of these 4 applications is application in complete aspects. So the application in complete aspects is explained first because it is the main object of indications in the 4th chapter. And peak application is the main object of indication, object of indications in the 5th chapter. So in order to attain the resultant peak application, then one needs to cultivate the application in complete aspects. So it is to attain the power. It is to master. For the sake of mastering the peak application, therefore, the application in complete aspects is explained first. So application in complete aspects is the cause to achieve the 5th peak application. So in the peak application, then one has attained the mastery in the這部這就你哋往拖把的話，係啦，你往拖把的，傾順number，你急時話呢？你傾順嘅 number，你往拖把嘅切度，
往拖的切度就做也是，往拖把的可能是，我的往是剛剛把定期做起来，你不這就得拖一切，你不這就得拖的其實 number 了往拖的嘛，
其實這就得往拖嘅切度，然後傾順嘅 number 你拖嘅切度。你急時吧，
急時吧，
傾順嘅 number 然後這就啲往拖嘅切度，傾順嘅 number 往拖嘅切度，啲談補啲寫法嚟，因為啲sorry I rephrase. So in the application in complete aspects, so in order to attain the mastery in the aspects of the 3 exalted knowers, then one cultivates the application in complete aspects. Then in the peak application, one has attained the mastery in the aspects of the 3 exalted knowers. So the cause is the application in complete aspects, and through which one attains the result peak application.
我这脑子觉得吧，这脑子觉得那是跟我的看到，其實能把往頭邊，這不自己拖下去的話，其實能把往頭邊，這不自己拖下去的，其實腦子覺我錯啊。
傾順嘅 number 啲往拖嘅切度，然後啲這部這就啲往拖嘅切度。
基本的話，往頭邊，這不自己我是啲拖下去的話，
傾順嘅 number 往拖嘅切度。
傾順嘅 number 往頭邊，這不自己的拖一切度，你拖一切的，可能腦子覺得冇寫吧，是往後的。傾
順嘅 number
往後的。
傾順嘅 number。這部這就，
其實能把它往頭邊，這部這就得可以切多，當不能做就點把它也是。
傾順嘅 number 這部這就往後邊嘅切度嘅話，
其實能把它往頭邊這個這就是，其實能把往後邊這個這就，這就是其實能把它往頭上。後邊，這部這就，你後邊嘅切度，你切的當不就能做就他們的多也是。就能做就的可能是呢。 최소 넘버 원 프랙치.
Yeah. Yeah, so one first train in the application in complete aspects in order to attain the resultant peak application that has attained a mastery in the aspects of the three exalted knowers.
어디지만 다 가다 나도 좋아하는 거죠. 상처도 어디지 총알이 있는데 그래서 와 나도 좋아해. 나도 좋아해 가지고 되게 총알이 있는데 다 진짜 좀 시사로 봐야 되는 거죠. 와.
And its boundaries are that it exists from the Mahayana path of accumulation until the end of the continuum. So the nature or definition of peak application is a bodhisattva's yoga conjoined with the wisdom highly transformed from the Mahayana path of accumulation that collectively cultivates the aspects of the three exalted knowers. So when one attains peak application, then at that time one has attained the power, or one has attained the mastery in the aspects of the three exalted knowers. So when one attains the thought reason from meditation that observe emptiness, or when one attains special insight observing emptiness, then one has attained power, or one has attained power in the aspects of the three exalted knowers. So I will not go through the divisions. So because if we were to go through the divisions, then we have to go through the whole four chapters. So for illustrations, bodhisattva on the path of accumulation, then they collectively cultivates the aspects of the three exalted knowers. And what is the purpose of them collectively cultivating the aspects of the three exalted knowers is in order to attain power in the aspects of the three exalted knowers. So this is the purpose of them collectively cultivating the aspects of the three exalted knowers. It is to attain power in the aspects of the three exalted knowers. So a bodhisattva who is on the path of accumulation has not attained power in the aspects of the three exalted knowers. So in order to attain power in the aspects of the three exalted knowers, they collectively cultivate the aspects of the three exalted knowers.
다 뒤지지 조나 저거지 다 돈이 또 미시라는
대신기 좋아.
뒤지 조나
조람.
뭐 조나 저거지 돈이 또 미시게 다 간다 돈이 또 미시게
그래서 대신기 조람.
이거 되게
예, 죄 예시.
되지 와
죄 예시티.
되게 돈도 지정업 죄 이게 다 간다 예 제조 있으면 그거
대신기 조람. 돈이 또 왜 예시.
돈이 또 뒤지 종합 저거지 이게 못들라고
돈이 또 왜.
뒤지 종합 저거지
예, 대신기 조람.
저거지 이게
죄기 예시로. 예, 죄기 예시티.
예 제조를 했어
제조를.
제조티 종합 제조서도 맞아 종합 전이야 샤버만 저랑 많이 했어
돈이 또 왜. 대신기 조람. 죄기 예시로.
저기
죄기 예시티.
감사를
죄기 예시. Yeah. So when one attains application, then one has attained the power in the aspects of the three exalted knowers. So the illustration for this is the exalted wisdom of a Mahayana path of preparation on the heat level that realize emptiness. So I repeat, an exalted wisdom of the Mahayana path of preparation on the heat level that realizes emptiness is a peak application. And peak applications exist from the heat level and above.
간다 제조서에 산사의 지지 종합 전이 준비하는 그래서 산사대와 제조 산사대 종합 전이 준비하는 그래서 제조도 맞춰서 이거 해서
Yeah, so the illustrations, as I mentioned just now, and also translated as this, like this: the exalted wisdom from the heat level of the Mahayana path of the exalted wisdom of the heat level of the Mahayana path of preparation that realizes emptiness is an illustration of peak application. So I repeat, an exalted wisdom of the heat level of the Mahayana path of preparation that realizes emptiness is an illustration of peak application. So the boundaries of peak applications is that it exists from the heat level of the Mahayana path of preparation until the end of the continuum.
다들 이제 생각도 좋아. 신발이 좋아서 들어와. 아주 좋아. 타지 좋아. 대지에서 타지 좋았다 때문에 그래서 타지 좋아 되게 너무 오래 되게 계속 넘버라 띄워 거기를 계속 넘버 힘고 밑에 있으면 나중에 타지 진짜로 타지 좋아. 뭐대다 무엇을 이렇게 진짜로 되게 좋아. 어디에 더 타지 좋아 지금
Then the third application is serial application. So the nature or definitions of serial applications is the Bodhisattva's yoga, when joined with the wisdom that progressively cultivates the aspects of the three exalted knowers, for the sake of attaining stability in the aspects of the three exalted knowers.
방어도 타지 좋아서야 돼. 그 두고기 땡지 조지비. 하고래. 그 두고가 그 두고기 땡지 조지비. 타지 좋아서 되게 그 두고기. 와. 여기 너도 좋아서 그 시각이 땡지 조지. 지주의 강압이 땡지 조지. 와. 야, 타지 좋아서 그 두고기 땡지 조지. 두고기.
So the main object of indication in the fourth chapter is application in complete aspects, and the main object of indication in the fifth chapter is peak application, and the main object of indication in sixth chapter is the serial application.
But to be digital, touch your digits, touch your the piano, go back and touch your that changing number of timber, what did timber to a chido? That's what touch your shield is changing number of timber, what did timber to them? That's what touch your shield. Yes.
So why serial application is explained after the peak applications is because it is to attain stability. It is for the sake of attaining stability in the aspects of the three exalted knowers. So it's for the sake of attaining stability in the aspects of the three exalted knowers. Therefore, a serial application is explained after the peak application.
다 최선이 넘버라 땜바 터디도 타지 좋아돼. 시우래. 다 최선이 넘버라 땜바 좋아 보내 최선이 넘버라 땜바 투바데 가발까 투고스나. 다 님바게 되지 좋지게. 근데 데려와. 끼침이 좋아. 끼침이 좋아돼. 이 토야 쳐다 근데 데려와. 좋아. 뭐도 줘. 그 타지죠. 저기 끼침이 좋아. 맞아. 와. 저 타지 좋아돼. 최선이 넘버라 땜바 토야 디치다. 뭔데? whereas a주 좋아돼. 난 레브 가르쳐야지. 레브 세죠. 레브 끼침이 좋아. 그렇지. 어디지? 레브 끼침이 좋아. 토비가데 때 최소 남발 땜바 토비. 그래서
땜바 토바로.
땜바 토.
So in serial application, then one cultivates it for the sake of attaining stability in the aspects of the three exalted knowers. So so when one has attained stability in the aspects of the three exalted knowers, then that refers to the instantaneous application. So in the occasions of when one attains stability in the aspects of the three exalted knowers, one attains the instantaneous application, which is the main object of indication in the chapter 7. So serial application is the cause for attaining the resultant instantaneous application.
나도 세진을 비샤면은 이게 보나 이제 손한테 타지 좋아. 예스 와. 이제 손한테 타지 좋아. 예스. 나한테 힘이 좀 세가나. 나가 타지 좋아라. 추추소요. 와. 타지 좋아라. 세지 추추소.
되게 타기 좋아. 되 가르쳐 주는 요래.
타지 좋아. 세지 추추소요. 타지 좋아. 세지 추추소. 기지지 손한테 타지 좋아. 이 주제 가지나. 와. 추추소지 심비 보내다 최소지 넘어라. 땜바 더디도 최소지 넘어라. 이제 보내. 그래서 심나게 되네서.
타기 좋아. 춘지 추추숨. 스피고네. 디게 어디 스피고네.
스피고네. 스피고네 된 최소지 넘어라. 땜바 더디도. 최소지 넘어라. 땜바 더디도 최소지 넘어라. 이제 보내. 헤르치도 심는조레스.
대진이 솔람데 타기 좋아. 대 이미 경제인데. 타기 좋아. 춘지에게 추추숨 심비고네. 계속 지난번에
그래서 누구 제주 넘버 인지 본데 제주 넘버 때마 터데도 본데 제주 세미나들에서 원 진지도 와 나가면
이 타기 좋아.
진지도
타기 좋아기 체이디.
그때지 전화도 타기 좋아해. 그래서 가르나 제주 넘버라 때마 터데도 제주 넘버 인지 본데 제주 세미나들에서 세미나죠. 그래 진짜 듣기로 그래서
the change hasn't been already. 타기 좋아. 춘지기 추. 대진이 솔람데 타기 좋아해.
이미 전생 가르에서나
근데 춘지 추.
제주 넘버라 때마 터데도 제주 넘버 인지 본데 제주 세미나들에서 예선자 타기 좋아해서.
And the illustrations of serial applications is Mahayana path of accumulation. So it is a serial application because it is a bodhisattva's yoga conjoined with the wisdom that progressively cultivates the aspects of the three exalted knowers for the sake of attaining stability in the aspects of the three exalted knowers. The definitions of a serial application. So a Mahayana path of accumulation is a serial application because it is a bodhisattva yoga conjoined with the wisdom that progressively cultivates the aspects of the three exalted knowers for the sake of attaining stability in the aspects of the three exalted knowers.
어디 찾들어와. 나도 타지 좋아해. 지에서 좋아. 지에서 이집이 좋아서 내가 와. 타지 좋아해. 지에서 기침이 좋아서 치리 전세 가서
타기 좋아하기 산상기 승승이.
타지 좋아. 산사도. 타지 좋아. 산사데 타지 손에 밀리가로 되는 예서와. 이 손에 밀리가로 쓰는 게 타지 좋아. 산사도 와.
The boundaries of serial applications are that it exists from the Mahayana path of accumulation until just prior to the end of the continuum. So why instantaneous application is explained after the serial application? Because instantaneous application arises from the serial application. Therefore, instantaneous application is explained after the serial application. So the definitions of instantaneous application is a bodhisattva's final yoga that has attained stability in the aspects of the three exalted knowers. Yeah. So the meaning of yeah. So the meaning of attaining stability is when one uncontaminated qualities is actualized in the shortest instant in which an action can be completed, the ability to also actualize those concordant in type with it, then that is the meaning of attaining stability. I repeat. So the meaning of attaining stability is when an uncontaminated quality is actualized in the shortest instant in which an action can be completed, the ability to also actualize those concordant in type with it, then that is the meaning of attaining stability. The illustrations of instantaneous applications is the uninterrupted path at the end of the continuum. So an illustration for the instantaneous application is an uninterrupted path at the end of the continuum. And instantaneous application is the main object of indication in the chapter 7, and its boundaries are that it exists only at the end of the continuum. So its boundaries are that it exists only at the end of the continuum. So this end of the continuums refer to the end of the 10th ground. The end of the 10th ground. So this is what the end of the continuum refers to. It is the end of the 10th ground. And this instantaneous application exists only at the end of the continuum. Therefore, it doesn't exist. Instantaneous application doesn't exist on the 8th ground or on the 9th ground.
이쯤이 좋아도 진리라 생명나게 파팅스로 온다 타두.
세미네이저
파팅스로 온다. 타두로 땅하고 쌓지밖에 타마. 이진님발라 상지지 구바 더 돼야지. 대기 상상을 내도 좋아.
상기.
이진님발라. 쌓지밖에 기긴 트러블에서 간다. 타두가 들어와. 타두가 쌓지밖에 기긴 타마. 이진님발라 이진님발라 상지지 구바 더야. 이 상상을 내도 좋아. 뭐 들으셔서 그래. 생명나게 타두서.
So it says in the definitions of instantaneous application that a bodhisattva's final yoga. So bodhisattva's final yoga referred to the end of the 10th ground. So it is the boundary. Yeah, it is the boundaries that at the next moment or at the second moment, then one will attain the state of enlightenment. So it refers to the end of the 10th ground. So it is the boundaries that one is about to achieve the state of enlightenment. So in the next moment.
상사를 지도권을 서로와 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 이 이제서 와서 그 제법 되게 좋죠. 다 간다. 저거와 한테 마셔도 그 제법 되게 좋아서 단테 최고. 이렇게 최고선다. 난 되게 최고 되게 막 도저히 더 최고의 넘버 뭐도 좋고 난 되게 타도 되게 최고 되게 좋아. 난 되게 최고서 되게 좋다. 난 도저히 더 최고의 넘버 뭐도 되게 최고의 넘버 뭐도 난 되게 좋아.
And resultant truth body is the main object of indication in the 8th chapter. And the definitions of resultant truth body is a final result attained by the strength of cultivating the aspects of the 3 exalted knowers. That is the means of attaining it.
어디로 난 되게 최고서 난 되게 최고 됐다 간다. 상지 된지겠어. 되게 최고 됐다 상지 된지. 그들만
So it and Buddha are mutually inclusive. So then Geshe-la will talk about the divisions of the body. So when divided, they are 4. So when resultant truth body is divided, then they are 4. 대부 초구 대 예와이나 대 시요로. 대부 초구 대 예와이나 대 시요 is. So when resultant truth body is divided, they are 4: nature body, distorted wisdom truth body, enjoyment body, and emanation body. So these are the 4 types of a resultant truth body. So I would like to briefly introduce what these 4 bodies are. So then we go to page 30.
맞아 뭐지 제대로 그래서 꾸시고 사실 그것보다 꾸시고도 참아 유지랑 같이 돌아올 수 있지라 사실 그것보다 꾸시고도 더 되는다.
So in order to briefly talk about the nature of the truth, the 4 types of the nature truth body, a resultant truth body. So then we go to page 35. So when one attained the state of enlightenment, at the same time one attained the 4 bodies. So nature body. because we always talk about four bodies, and then it is very common to talk about these four bodies as well. So it's good to understand what these four bodies are. And the first one is nature body. The definitions of a nature body is a final sphere possessing the two purities. So the two purities are the purities of two obscurations. So a final sphere possessing the two purities of the two obscurations. The objective obscurations and knowledge obscurations. So when divided, they are two: a nature body that is a factor of intrinsic purity or natural purity, and a nature body that is a factor of adventitious purity. So these are the two divisions of nature body. There is a factor of intrinsic or natural purity, and there is a factor of adventitious purity. So it's divided into these two. So the illustration for the first one, the nature that is a factor of intrinsic purity or natural purity, is the tamadatu in the mind. Sim chewing the chewing the keba karayo. Chewing or sim chewing. Chewing. Oh, sorry. Sim chewing. Yeah, it's a reality. Yeah. So is the reality that is free from the stains in the continuum of a Buddha. So the illustration for the first one, a nature body that is a factor of intrinsic purity, is the reality that is free from the stains, free of the stains in the continuum of a Buddha. So the first illustration. And the illustration for the second division, a nature body that is a factor of adventitious purity, is the is the true cessation that has abandoned two obscurations. So the Ayas Buddha so it's a true cessation in the continuum of an Ayah Buddha, or the true cessation that has abandoned two obscurations in the continuum of an Arya Buddha. I repeat, the second illustration. The true cessation in the continuum of an Arya Buddha, or the true cessation that has abandoned two obscurations in the continuum of an Arya Buddha. So its boundaries are that it exists only on the Buddha ground. So so its boundaries are that it exists only on the Buddha ground. So the first illustration that I mentioned just now, the reality that is free of the stains in the continuum of a Buddha. So then maybe it's good to translate it this way. Better to translate it this way: the natural state of mind. The natural state of mind that is free of stains in the continuum of Buddha. The natural state of mind that is free of stain in the continuum of a Buddha. And that is the illustration for the first division.
that it that's super on that originals push it on that.
And the second one is complete enjoyment body or enjoyment body. The definitions of a complete enjoyment body is a final form body possessing the 5 certainties. So regarding this, that's also a very common.
Then the Karisana, me, Nepado, Omipuna. That's on the name of Ning about Omipuna, yes, Ning about Omipuna. That couldn't about simply Sadu Jebas. Wow, that's in the basic table. Then Kurma about Shansi Pumaka, chip shape, Yellow Horva. That Kurma was the Shansi Pumaka, too much chip shape, Yadi, the Shansi Papa Mother, the Longo Bay, Chik here in the world, since you do that, Bay was shoot to Yomaro. She put to Yomaro. Then Kordin. Putting in Bashan Sipa Chata Quadi, yes, and Sipa Chata. That chewing about teaching Maki, Chuma, Makimado, that one that was Chishi that Chasipa Tanja Chatarua was this one, chewing about teaching Maki. That doing about a watch in Matu Bachi. That did keep us on the Gua.
So the 5 certainties are the certainty of abode and the certainty of body, certainty of retinue, certainty of dharma, and certainty of time. So these are the 5 certainties. So the first certainty of abode, he abides only in Akanishta. If as a literally translated, then it will become not known. So in Sanskrit, it's called Akanishta. The certainty of body is adorned with the clear and complete signs and exemplifications. Those signs and exemplifications, in other words, is the major and minor marks. So signs and exemplifications, in other words, is major and minor marks. Certainty of retinue, he is surrounded by only bodhisattva ayas or aya bodhisattvas. So he's only surrounded by aya bodhisattvas. So another way of saying this is the main target audience is aya bodhisattvas. And the certainty of dharma is he teaches only the Mahayana dharma. So since he is surrounded by only aya bodhisattvas, therefore he teaches only the Mahayana dharma. So which is for the main target audience, aya bodhisattvas. So which is difficult for others to understand. And the certainty of time, he remains as long as cyclic existence is not empty.
That's on the Kandalo, that's on the Sokonama, she was in
Its boundaries are that it exists only on the Buddha ground. So another way of saying this is it doesn't exist in the state of an ordinary, of a sentient being.
Then you bang the Madibra, she is the Chinese. That to be the Kanda didn't tell me that you get her. You bang the Madibra, she is the Chinese. That's what you do. You bang the Madibra, Subitadich. Not the Madibra, she is the
So emanation, the third one is emanation body. The definitions of an emanation body is a final form body distinguished by not possessing the 5 certainties, which is different from the complete enjoyment body. So complete enjoyment body is possessing the 5 certainties, and emanation body is not possessing the 5 certainties. When divided, there are 3: an artisan emanation body, a birth emanation body, and a supreme emanation body.
That is so to question Johnny Tanki was Johnny like a show, double Reduna, Sanjite, Johnny Kipachilla, Angela Tuni, Johnny to put in the crown of a pretty with the lead resort to present the legitimate. Dinijico, Villa.
두자기 감당 매발
Lebaltani, Lebaltani, Vedan Timber Tubachini, Chudi, Vedan Timber Tubachini, the Duja shape.
So the first one, an artisan emanation body, so is emanated according to the interests and inclinations of the disciples. So it's an emanation emanated in accordance with the interests and inclinations of the disciples. So in order to tame their mind, then this emanation is manifest in accordance with the interests and inclinations of the disciples. For example, if the disciples likes music very much, or like music very much, then Buddha manifests himself in great musicians, and then and give dharma and tame the disciples and give dharma to the disciples who love music.
But you want to go to the Jiti Chamang, or Chamang, and do it with Chamang.
Chamakumbo. Yeah, so illustration for above emanation body is the protector Maitreya.
That's so good to go to the Dama, the Timberwa. I want to link the choke to Jima, I say, Lindela. Lindela, to Timber. It is.
Yeah, so the illustration for a supreme emanation body is our Buddha Shakyamuni. So there is only one supreme emanation body in one continent. So, like for example, in this world, in Sanskrit it's called Zambuling. So in this world, when there is only one supreme emanation body, and he is a Buddha Shakyamuni.
Oh, that's another choke to go to Timber. I was a Deja Timo with no to Zola. To the number 10, the number 10 we are. Number 10 is not. This is about Pavamato. You got chain Yagi, Ogayoma. Ogayomari. That didn't know since the demo that, but she had to back on the number 10 of my children, to the numbers in Gorua. And Nika can the super even Chigajanwa. Super, choke to the Supurua. Good enough. And that took us ready. The choke to be number Matibaina. Just also Joe and their mother, but so but it's Hamalma. Chin to have number 10 to got that she were what the reason. I don't know nobody Maina. That some of the chi, she had a wheel. Wow, no good number, not some of the chi should wheel. She did wheel. But this is the tongue of the children number 10, but yes,
so the second one, complete enjoyment body, and the third one, emanation body, they are form bodies. So whether it is a complete enjoyment body or whether it is an emanation body, so both of them are form bodies. So however, Buddha do not manifest himself in the complete enjoyment body for the disciples who do not have the pure karma to receive the teachings from that complete enjoyment body. Therefore, Buddha manifests in the form of emanation body, the supreme emanation body, in order to give dharma to disciples who do not have the pure karma. And if Buddha were to manifest only in the complete enjoyment body, since the retinue is only Arya Bodhisattvas, then those disciples who do not have the pure karma would not be able to receive teachings from the Buddha. And its boundaries are that it exists only on the Buddha group.
다 기타 지금 좀 간디긴 앞에 사도만 챔바 무슨 챔바 와 이시 주고서 나 리포트 이시 주고서 왔다
무슨 챔바
챔바 이시 주고는 왔다 시바 이거와 다 이게 두고서 좀 변나서 강사를 하자고 와서 와 이시 주고서 왔다 가서 사주 투기 챔바다
무슨别的 강사라 샤기오 이디 시바 데니 시바 데샤기오
就日本강사를 잡아와 이시 주고는 와서 내가 상지 법이 투지前把的
모니고 있나 양 강사라 샤기오나 뭐 어떤 롱구당 그고니 바데 강사라 샤기오 에네디 타마데 제바라 샤기오
그래서 그거와 강강에서 오는 데서 기본이라 시바 잡아요
네 시바야 샤기오 말이
인사가 어디 샤이마 사기 생기 진리 샤이마
So the fourth one is exalted wisdom truth body. So the definitions of an exalted wisdom truth body is an exalted knower that is final insight with respect to modes and varieties. So modes refers to emptiness and varieties refer to conventional truth. So it is an exalted knower or is a consciousness. So there is final insight with respect to modes and varieties. So these exalted knowers is a consciousness as compared to emanation body and complete enjoyment body. So these two bodies are the person. And the last one, exalted wisdom truth body, is a consciousness.
나도 앞에 이 주고를 받이오데 다 상지 사이 makes this in just that 와 이게 상지 사이 와 상지 사이 상지 이 된지 그 상지 사이 콘 근데 이거 상지 사이 콘은 요레스
When divided, there are 21 sets of the uncontaminated exalted wisdom of the Buddha ground, and its boundaries are that it exists only on the Buddha ground.
아마도 대와 다들 가서 막 이거 제도 막 이거 그거 사고 이거 이제는 가서 가르치나 나도 저 취취 와 당고 부제도 막 간다 두신 거 주시 다 쇼쇼 이거 사 이거 다들 지시리 게 이거 막 와. 이거 하는 거 보지 지시 돌아 갑제가 놓고 이게 상하는 거 와. 뭐도 막 뭐지 막 무슨 말이로 와.
And so this is the brief. So we have already gone through 8 categories, and this is a brief identifications of 8 categories. Because if we were to explain it extensively, then we have to go through all of the 8 categories.
아마도 시바가 띵지 쪽 너무 좋아 잘 요래 좋아. 그래서 너무 좋아 제주랑 아주 취취지요와 그 취취도 막 장가 하기만 그这些 내가 가서 취야 쪽으로 제가 가서想去 소지로 와.去 소지로 와.
Continuous 22. Yeah. That's all.
네. 모두다 급 시바가 가서 띵지 쪽 너무 좋아 잘 요래스 와. 나 너무 좋아도 가서 나도 막 지다 취야 쪽으로 가서 想去 소지 잘 와. 그래서 어디 나도 너무 좋아 저기 취취지요로 와. 취취도 맞다. 맞다. 장관 나오지 마. 뭐지 제인스로 와. 장관 제인 예 좀마 시야 주지시야 케미스 주지시구나 나도 좋아. 막 처음에 막 주지시구나 가시고도 차단 놓고 근데 집에 차는 거 좋아.
대단히 생이 이제 집보리 좋아요.
어디 말이 그래도 막 지금 뭐 뭐도 취취지요래서 와. 뭐 어디 제인스로 와.
So there are 11 topics of application in complete aspects. So application in complete aspects is the main object of indication in 4th chapter. So in it, there are 11 topics. So I will so we will go through these 11 topics by identifying the definitions of the particular topics instead of going through the divisions and the explanations that follows it. Because if we were to cover the divisions and also explanations, then again we have to cover all of the 4th chapter as well. So after going through the definitions of each each topics in the 4th chapter, then we are going to talk about we are going to focus on the 37 harmonies with enlightenment. Okay, so the first topic of application in complete aspects is a lower aspect of the antidotal class indicated in this context. And the definitions of a lower aspect of the antidotal class indicated in this context is an exalted knower that is able to overcome its discordant class. So an illustration for lower aspects of the antidotal class indicated in this context is the exalted and Arya's Bodhisattva's exalted wisdom directly realizing emptiness. I repeat, and Arya's Bodhisattva's exalted wisdom that directly realizes emptiness. So is an illustration for a lower aspect of the antidotal class indicated in this context, because it is a consciousness that is able to overcome its discordant class through apprehensions of true existence or true grasping. So regarding this, when divided, there are three the knower aspects of knower of basis, knower aspects of knower of halves, and knower aspects of exalted knower of full aspects. So regarding these aspects, 173 aspects, and this I will cover it later. So after going through the definitions of 11 topics. Second topic is principal applications. Principal applications explicitly indicated in this context, and its definition is Bodhisattva's yoga when joined with the wisdom that is a union of calm abiding and special insight, observing emptiness that is explicitly indicated in this context.
学报了呢，这个他学报的，非常有那种城市中啊，学报去啊，好的，我们都没写了书本，你写了留了哇，
写了总结的，东西都别，
东都写了书本，他们那个程度哇
，yeah. So the definitions of a principle application, especially indicated in this context, is a bodhisattva's yoga conjoined with the wisdom that is a union of calm abiding and special insight observing emptiness, is especially indicated in this context, right? So illustration for the second topic is a bodhisattva who is on the path of preparation. A bodhisattva is on the path, on the level of forbearance of preparations. So bodhisattva who is on the level of forbearance on the path of preparations, the yoga conjoined with the wisdom that is a union of calm abiding and special insight, observing emptiness. So I repeat. So the wisdom that is a union of calm abiding and special insight, observing emptiness, in the continuum of a bodhisattva who is on the level of forbearance of the path of operations, is an illustration for a principle application explicitly indicated in this context. So it refers to the yoga conjoined with the wisdom, or you can say the wisdom that is a union of calm abiding and special insight observing emptiness in the continuum of bodhisattvas who is on the level of forbearance of the path of preparation.
要讲到有领域的，讲到主要的，那上头的就讲到真理的地方，有些时候啊，上头的就讲到真理，讲到真理，也是，那个是
提醒给讲
到真理下边就是个是呢，我那里有不多多个话，
真理搞出搞
真理地方，真理地方，你搞的是呢，讲到真理地方有些下一个，
真的。
那讲到这里下过来，对不对？那东南面，希腊圣地写了的辛苦是吧？东南面是吧？
东南面呗。
东南面希腊圣地写了的辛苦是的，因为我东南面希腊圣地写了辛苦的，我这里嘛都同样个咯，我这里嘛都从来那个什么同样个嘛。
突然给告诉我，你第十二个星座嘛？这了，东南面呗，第十二个星座。 doing the MIBE, so its boundaries for the principal applications are explicitly indicated in this context. Its boundaries are that it exists. It exists from the heat level of the Mahayana path of preparations until the end of the continuum. So its boundaries are that it exists from the heat level of the Mahayana path of preparation until the end of the continuum. So the reason to proceed that it is from the heat level of the Mahayana path of preparation is because it is conjoined with the wisdom that is a union of calm abiding and special insight observing emptiness. And and those who are on the path of accumulation are not conjoined with the wisdom that is a union of calm abiding and special insight observing emptiness.
我松巴的那个是吧？我松巴的我说，有影的时候，对的吧？有影的时候，那有影的时候呢，我让同学跳的，自己主要工作做的偏，有影的时候，有影的时候，那自己有影的时候，松巴的人，那得看就是呢，让同学跳的，自己主要工作做的偏，自己主要工作做的偏，意思，不知道很多有影的时候，我认识。
The third topic is excellent quality of the Mahayana application. The definitions of an excellent quality of the Mahayana application is a benefit attained through the force of cultivating a Mahayana application that is the method for attaining it.
这个是真的不呢？就讲呢，上级就跟前面的上级估计千把是啥能对的？上级的估计是千把的，我千把的我说有影对差的，那是开始呢，那往对自己就往工作做透吧，是吧？那自己有的几个东西也透吧，是吧？ 디지 조이 공도지 토비 윤리와 다 간다 디지 조이에 대해서 디지 조아 윤리 공도 토비 다 윤리 디지라 공고와 그들 뭐뭐 심지어 지나와 뭐뭐 심지어 다 간다 데 고다트에서 상지지 윤리서도 간다 디지 조아 공도 좋아
상기기 토규기 킴바를
킴비윤리
킴비윤리
킴비윤리 더마도와 킴비윤리 다 간다 디지 조아 공도 좋아 장자로와
So, an illustration for excellent quality of a Mahayana applications is the excellent quality, which is the excellent quality of an exalted knower in the continuum of Buddha. So, the excellent quality of an exalted knower, in the continuum of Buddha. So that is an illustration for an excellent quality of a Mahayana application, because it is a quality that is attained. It is a quality that is attained by the force of cultivating the Mahayana application. And its boundaries are that it exists from the Mahayana path of accumulation through Buddha ground. The fourth topic is faults of an application, and the definitions of a fault of an application is a Mara's action that interferes any of the production, avoidance, and completion of an application. So Mara's action that interferes any of the production, avoidance, or completion of an application is the definitions of a fault of an application. So, and its boundaries are that it exists from not having entered the path until the seventh ground. So even we have these faults of the application, because we have many interferences that obscures us, that obscures us with producing the Mahayana application, producing, abiding, and leading the Mahayana application. So we have these faults of an application because we have many interferences that obscures us from producing, abiding, and completing a Mahayana application. So we come to the fifth topic, yoga of the path perfection of wisdom. And the definitions of a yoga of the path perfection of wisdom is a bodhisattva's yoga conjoined with the union of calm abiding and special insight. That is the method for attaining a resultant perfection of wisdom that is its object of attainment. The illustrations for the yoga of the path perfection of wisdom is is a yoga that is conjoined with the union of calm abiding and special insight in the continuum of bodhisattva who is on the path of preparation. I repeat, an illustration for yoga of the path of perfection of wisdom is a yoga that is conjoined with the union of calm abiding and special insight in the continuum of a bodhisattva who is on the path of preparation. And its boundaries are that it exists from the Mahayana path of accumulation until the end of the continuum. The sixth topic is Mahayana partial concordance with liberation explicitly indicated in this context. The definitions of the Mahayana partial concordance with liberation explicitly indicated in this context is a clear realization of the doctrine in the continuum of the bodhisattva, skilled in accomplishing and exalted knower of all aspects in this continuum. So this is the definition of a Mahayana partial concordance with liberation, explicitly indicated in this context. So a partial concordance, the clear realization of the doctrine, path of accumulation, path of accumulation, and partial concordance with liberation. So I repeat the three: clear realization of the doctrine, path of accumulation, partial concordance with liberation. So these three are mutually inclusive. Therefore, in this context, the Mahayana partial concordance with liberation, Mahayana path of accumulation, and Mahayana clear realization of doctrines are mutually inclusive. So you can proceed illustrations for Mahayana partial concordance with liberation explicitly indicated in this context. Illustrations such as the small, middling, and great path of accumulation. So path of accumulation can be divided into three: small, middling, and great. So you can proceed any of these as an illustration for Mahayana partial concordance with liberation explicitly indicated in this context. So a Mahayana path of accumulation, a Mahayana clear realizations of doctrine, a Mahayana partial concordance with liberations. So all these are mutually inclusive. So Mahayana partial concordance with liberation, especially indicated in this context, its boundaries are that it exists only on the Mahayana path of accumulation.
dimba 가르스나 티 등 미리 처리 지지 들어와 미리 처리서 관계에서 기대 미리 처리서 이 미리 처리서 또 타지 치 제바도 시기 관계에서 티 그런 것도 돼 내가 들에서 관계에서 그런 거 와. 그런 돼 왔다 가는 기대 미리 처리 내가 들어와.
The seventh topic is Mahayana partial concordance with definite discrimination, explicitly indicated in this context. So in the context of in the context of so the definitions of a Mahayana partial concordance, the definitions of a Mahayana partial concordance with definite discrimination, especially indicated in this context, is a Mahayana clear realizations of the meaning, especially indicated in this context, mainly qualified by the quality of matter.
Oh, did you? That Ganda, Gaji Kudishibana did it. Tiji, Danato, Gigi Danato, Gigi in the Chinese, Gigi Jona Halako, Gigi Jona, Roa, the Jiba, Gigi Danato, Gigi in the Chinese, Roa, Gigi in Chinese, Gigi Danato, Gigi Jona, the Finda.
So just like the previous, just like before, so the Mahayana clear realizations of the meaning, and the Mahayana partial concordance with definite discrimination, and Mahayana path of preparations are mutually inclusive. So I repeat, Mahayana clear realization of the meaning, Mahayana partial concordance with definite discrimination, and Mahayana path of preparations are mutually inclusive.
That is what that's done as no Santa Dota, Santa Tiji, Monacona, Yomora, Yola. Ganda, the Sinji Shava in that, you're not to such a Parishana Jigo. Jetsun Sebo Chinju Shiora, that's a Karishana Jigo to the teaching Chinese Sinji.
So you can an illustration for Mahayana partial concordance with definite discrimination, especially indicated in this context, such as the heat level of the path of preparation, or the peak level of the path of preparation, the forbearance level of the path of preparation, or the supreme qualities supreme qualities level of the path of preparations. So you can proceed any of these as an illustration for the Mahayana partial concordance with definite discriminations. So there are 4 levels in the Mahayana path of preparation. So you can proceed any of the 4 levels of the path of preparation as an illustration for the Mahayana partial concordance with definite discrimination.
When I just stopped the show, Sola, Bona, Sinisha, Bona, Bona, it's in the devotion was here. Children to Solange Sinis, children to Solange Sini.
Children to Solange Sini.
Or children Solange Sini. Then to Donage Sini. Then to Donage Sini. Demba to Tonage Sini. Demba to Tonage Sini. Jela to Bonage Sini. Jela to
Jela.
Jela to Rajan Jela.
Jela. Jela. So actually the definitions of the first 4 paths, the path of accumulation, path of preparation, path of seeing, and path of meditations. So actually it's quite easy to perceive their definitions. So the first one, the definitions of path of preparation is the clear realization of doctrine. So just now we said, so the clear realization of the doctrine. So this is the definitions of accumulation. And the second one is clear realizations of the meaning, is the definitions of the path of preparation. So here you can see the clear realization of the meaning. Clear realization of the meaning. So this is the definitions of path of preparation. And clear realization of the truth is the definitions of path of seeing. And clear realization, subsequent clear realization is the definition of path of meditation. Yeah, so I repeat, clear realization of the doctrine, clear realization of the meaning, clear realization of the truth, subsequent clear realization. So respectively is the definitions of path of accumulation, path of preparation, path of seeing, and path of meditation. The eighth topic is Bodhisattva Sangha who has attained a sign of irreversibility. The definitions of a Bodhisattva Sangha who has attained a sign of irreversibility is a Bodhisattva who has attained any of the 44 signs, such as having turned away from manifest adherence to forms and so forth, as truly existent. Yeah, so regarding these 44 signs, if I'm not mistaken, then it's divided into three. So the path of preparation itself has 24, the path of seeing has 16, and path of meditation has 8. So yeah, so regarding these 44 signs, then it's very difficult to understand. It's very difficult to understand. So we will not go in depth here. So just to identify what a Bodhisattva Sangha who has attained a sign of irreversibility is. So we just identify the definitions of it. So a Bodhisattva who has attained any of the 44 signs, such as having turned away from manifest adherence to forms and so forth, as truly existent. An illustration for Bodhisattva Sangha who has attained a sign of irreversibility can be a Bodhisattva Sangha who is on the Changsim Jolamba, yeah, Bodhisattva Sangha who is on the Changsim Jolamba, so a Bodhisattva Sangha who is on the path of preparation, who has attained a sign of irreversibility. So an illustration for Bodhisattva Sangha who has attained a sign of irreversibility is a Bodhisattva Sangha who is on the path of preparation, who has attained a sign of irreversibility. So if we finish the 37 harmonies with enlightenment, and if we still have time, then we will go through this. Then we will talk about these 44 signs. So, so this will only discuss after the 7 harmonies with enlightenment. This lamsum de jaro. So its boundaries are that it exists from the heat level of Mahayana path of preparation until the end of the continuum. The 9th topic is application of the equality of secular existence and peace. The definitions of an application of the equality of secular existence and peace is a yoga of the pure grounds that has exhaustively destroyed the opportunity for a manifest conceptions of true existence to be produced on the occasions of subsequent attainment by means of being conjoined with the wisdom directly realizing secular existence and peace to be empty of true existence. So the exalted wisdom of the eighth ground is an illustration for application of the equality of secular existence and peace. And its boundaries are that it exists on the 3 pure grounds. 3 pure grounds refers to 8, 9, and 10 ground. 8, 9, and 10th ground. And it doesn't. And these applications of the equality of secular existence and peace does not exist in other grounds. So in grounds other than these 3 pure grounds. And topic, application of pure land. The definitions of an application of pure land is a yoga of the pure grounds in which a root of virtue, such as a prayer to accomplish the special land, where one will attain enlightenment, has become a powerful potency in one's continuum.
That's changing over showing up. Sub Goba news to be hit.
Sub
Goba news to be hit. I can't that you will use an antibody.
Sub Goba
news to be hit.
Yeah. So an illustration, exalted wisdom, realizing emptiness of the 9th ground is an illustration for application of pure land. I repeat, an exalted wisdom realizing emptiness of the 9th ground or on the 9th ground is an illustration for application of pure land. And its boundaries are that it exists on the 3 pure grounds. Again, the 2 pure grounds are the 8, 9, and 10 grounds. 10 ground. Eleventh topic, applications of skillful means. The definitions of an applications of skillful means is a yoga of the pure grounds that spontaneously accomplishes exalted activities by means of having pacified forced exertion.
디기를 제 당해줘. 어다데 디지 체시하는 주거리고 디시고 데려봐도 나중에 디지 쪽나 산지지 그거 맞다 봐도 디지 쪽 동로 디지 쪽 봐라. 와.
디시 좀 보다 연계선.
디지 쪽 봐도 산지지 그거 더 봐. 디지 쪽. 와. 어다 디시다. 다 디지 뭐도 맞죠. 디지 가다 맞아 장기 선발지라 마 이어서고 아빠서는 이어서고 그다데 여기 좋아. 여기 좋아. 아빠서는 이어서고
되게 좋아.
한국 좋아. 근데 서쪽이지. 근데 저기 좋아 자는 누구를 서쪽이지 이게 자수 와. 서쪽이지 이게 자는 누구를
동의도 비이시.
또 동의도 비기.
디자인이 단다 대시 뒤치사디. 그리디
뭐 좋아. 신기도 버티네. 와. 이게 저기 좋았어. 근데 저기 좋아도나 뭐 보여요. 비샤오나 또 동의도 막 가다 지시오. 이슈고들만 용다 그저 시오. 이게 요라.
되게 좋아서 되네 뒤시 정당디 숨기.
이게 가지고 이제는 많이 온다 시고. 뒤에는 가서 시간 한번 해서 내가 가서 맞지. 뒤에는 이제 지하기 좋아.
또 시바기 타.
시간 한번 와 정산을 야 정산 되게. 막 정산은 근데 요 맞지.
네, 뒤시고.
뒤시고.
Yeah, and application of skillful means and its boundaries are that it exists on the 3 pure grounds. Again, it refers to 8, 9, and 10 ground. And these applications of skillful means, in this topic, in this topic, it talks about the way to destroy the 4 maras. The 4 maras are the mara of afflictions, mara of aggregate, mara of the Lord of Death, and mara of the evil, the son of God. Yeah, the son of God. The evil of the son of God. Yeah. So the 4 maras are the mara of affliction, mara of aggregate, mara of Lord of Death, and the mara of evil of the son of the God. Evil of the son of the God. So whenever these 4 maras are destroyed, one attains the state of enlightenment. And regarding these 4 maras, then these will be discussed in the 4th chapter. At the very end of the 4th chapter, then these 4 maras will be discussed. So this application of skillful means exists on the 3 pure grounds. Yeah, so up to this point is introductions. So we have covered the 8 categories, and then we have a list or briefly go through the nature of 11 topics of application in complete aspects. So we have already gone through the definitions of each of the 11 topics in the 4th chapter, application, which main object of indication is an application in complete aspects. So in next class, then we will start looking about the aspects, and in which it will talks about the 37 harmonies with enlightenment, which is the main point that we are going to focus on.
Oh, did you? Was a gentleman which was number some livers, number of livers. The livers in that on the that did joy the Chini on the service. What cheats on the
So next class, we are going to talk about aspects. So we'll stop here. If you have any question, then you can ask now.
개정물에서 결정 내가 야구 따로 치스로 개정물 쇼에서
그러다 이 갑시바기 고고라
내 개정물에서
갑시바기 고고라
시골 말아서 지야 개정물에서 좀 혹시스로
So next class we are going to talk about the fourth chapter, and then please read before class, especially the aspects that we are going to talk about.
Kenna,
Yes.
Gishila, I have a question on Noah of basis. In the
Noah
last
basis.
class, Gishila said Noah basis, example, Arya hearer, Arya Bodhisattva, Arya Buddha. My understanding, whether correct or not, Gishila, this is a Mahayana Sastra talking about Bodhisattva path towards enlightenment. So in Noah basis, even though the definition say there is a hearer in abiding in hearer's realization, it is a Bodhisattva, Mahayanist, who practice to cultivate that in order to achieve enlightenment. So the boundary, although it say all Aryas, I'm thinking like that it shouldn't include Arya hearer, because Arya hearer, they are Hinayanists. They will not cultivate a Mahayana path. Although it's all Arya, it will be Arya Bodhisattva and Arya Buddha in Noah basis. But last class, when I hear, maybe my understanding may be incorrect, Gishila mentioned Arya hearer in the boundary as well. Thank you.
So I repeat your questions. Yeah, in brief, is regarding the number of bases and its boundaries are that it exists in the continuum of all ayas. Then Gishla say that the Arya hearers, Arya Bodhisattvas, and Arya Buddha. Then you're saying that since this number of bases is the path to enlightenment, so the Arya hearers shouldn't be included.
For Bodhisattva, path to enlightenment step. This text
For
itself
Bodhisattva.
is for
Path to
Bodhisattvas who are mind.
Yeah, path of enlightenment for Bodhisattvas. Thus, since Arya hearer is a Hinayanist, so it shouldn't Arya hearer shouldn't be included in the boundaries of knower or basis. Is that right?
Yeah, boundary or illustration.
Yeah, that's all. 跟住啲時些我來嘅啦，時些那啲公益生產面那啲巴巴塔塔啦，巴巴塔塔嘅叫嚟咗咯。ini dia kisah lagi yang desensi di Jawa ni, kena cakap di papa, di nyentuh papa, nangsen papa, nangsangi papa. Ini tentang ngatu kangsi bati, ya kangsi bati ini disangi ki, kata di jangcu sembal lah, jangcu sembal ki sangi ki lam lah, di kola di shegi orang, jangcu sembal lah. 상계기 남기 꼴라 디 시기월이 이 주자조 디 바바 양주 셈바레스 제자니 디 인투 바바이나 니 디 낭로라 디 시시기 천시 디 샤나니 디 피시 미롱와 니 디양 대당니 디 산삼 낭로라 디 뒤와이나 니 피치 양 중기요 마리스 니 코아디 디 노바이나스
No, that's very no. Very totally no one is there.
Yeah, 지상이 단단히 강시 바디 ini tidak semua 상기기 람라 그래야
是的啊，尽量去修，能不接的修的，对，能不这个修的对，常常跟两年前的修的，我们不接的修的，一切的我说，一切的做两年前的做的呢，那个牛的天面就搞啥的，
哦，其实也做两年前。
你毕竟两年，你把这两年今天做的那个天面老板，我不觉得吧，修的这个全部的，就我们什么个两年前修的，我不觉得就是修的。
其实的，你的可能提前给爸爸那点两年前有的，ini做两年前的。
之前你把个两年前的做的这些，天面是搞啥的？天面是搞啥这个做，没错，对吧？你把你两年做这个工作。
讲什么？这样两年前有的，
讲新巴的，国家做的一些东西吧的，是把国际做的东半年两年，对吧？我那个都没接受南极的什么情况了吧？还是都没写了。
其实什么给国家做
东半年，东半年，但我说那是工作更多了嘛的，是吧？前面是刚才做国家做的， 이게 지금 미나 소어스데 이게 미나 소어 가서는 간사가 다음에 돼. 간사 다음에 돼. 봐. 간사 다음에 돼. 어디 길로버에 맞아. 근데 저 내가 좀 뒤고 말했어. 그분이 너버렸어. 너버 가지고 대야만.
So regarding your understanding of the knower of basis, then is incorrect. So when we talk about the 8 categories and then we talk about the knower of basis, then these are to be practiced by all. These are to be practiced by all learners, including bodhisattvas and including Hinayana practitioner as well. And regarding the knower of basis, the one who mainly practice the objects of observations of knower of basis is the Hinayana learners or Hinayana trainees. So they are the main practitioner of the objects of observations of knower of basis. And as for bodhisattvas, their main objects of meditation is emptiness. And the main objects of meditation or cultivations for Hinayanists are the selflessness of person. So which is the main objects of observations of knower of basis. So I repeat, yeah. So when we talk about the 8 categories and in which then we talk about the knower of basis, then these are to be practiced by all practitioners, including bodhisattvas, including Hinayanists as well. So the main practitioner of the objects of observation of the knower of basis is Hinayana trainees or Hinayana learners. So the main object of meditation for bodhisattvas is emptiness. And the main object of meditation for Hinayanists is the selflessness of person, which is the main object of observation of knower of basis. Yeah, so yeah, so the practitioner they takes the objects of observations of knower of basis as the main objects of meditation is the Hinayana learners or Hinayana trainees. So the one who practice by mainly taking the one who practice by taking the objects of observations of knower of basis as the main objects of meditation is Hinayana trainees or learners. So I repeat, the one who practice by taking the objects of observations of knower of basis as the main object of meditations is Hinayana trainers or trainees. Yeah. In the definitions of a knower of basis is there is the part saying that it is abiding in a class of Hinayana realizations. So regarding this part, abiding in a class of Hinayana realizations, then we need to understand what does it, the meaning of it. So as long as anything is a knower of, as long as it is a knower of basis, it necessarily abides in a class of Hinayana realization. So the meaning of abiding in a class of Hinayana realizations is those who those who take the objects of observations of knower of basis as the main objects of meditation. The one who take objects of observation of knower of basis as the main object of meditation is the meaning of abiding in the class of Hinayana realizations. Minam dang mi pa di chi shi minam mi pa dang ti ro.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Stop here.
That was a great one. The chicken but you do. Was a jungle to the thing the massage. See you in the see the body shooting the water. What on Jamia put it on the 30 numbers of who's on the roof, but we are essentially open the margin, just a little. But then that's somebody. Monbeki like a Montu Monbeki, so Montu to the Niat, rush. A Montu the Niat, sort of a cheap passenger, it's saying that's saying it to the city, saying the city, say what some people are some for each other. Then only you do kill and that you know to say and the one she never money. She did what the condition of this is.
The Tunama and the Olungi and the Kitchetiwari, and the Kazati Nalola and the Lego she needed a Karisagi, anything CG Shiba and Sigang Shivaris, in the Shuna Diguna. That's watching. And so we conclude these sessions with dedication. We dedicate these roots of virtue to Buddha's teaching and all sentient beings. And we also dedicate these roots of virtue to all upholders of Buddha's teaching, mainly His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to live eons long, to have good, excellent health condition, and may all their enlightened activities and holy wishes be accomplished instantaneously and spread in all directions. In particular, we dedicate these roots of virtue for our beloved teacher, Geshe Lama Sopa Rinpoche. May the unmistaken reincarnations of Rinpoche be swiftly returned and continue to turn the wheel of Dharma for the sake of teachings and sentient beings, so that we will have the opportunity to receive the profound teachings from Rinpoche again. And we also dedicate these roots of virtue to the world peace, and may excellent happiness prevail in the world. May wars, conflicts, disaster, natural disaster, and pandemic be pacified immediately. And in particular, we also dedicate these roots of virtue to all sentient beings, in particular those who pass away because of these unconducive conditions. May all their negativities accumulated since beginningless time be pacified immediately, and may they quickly achieve the state of enlightenment. Sabeke wadi tendang juwa kunla kambe dang kiwa jisu lo sang traba yi tembe ni mo rendo se je sho janjo sen jo rimbo je ma ke pana ki gyu ji yamba me bayang kone kondo be wa sho ni me ma we ji da ki ba dang kudo sambo de a de shin de de da kun ge jesu da lo che di da dang je ra to Kung ye da wa rimbo je ma ke pana ki gyu ji ki wa yamba me bayang kone kondo be wa sho Dawa Rinpoche Mangye Pana Chikyu Chiki Ba Nyamba Mima Yang Kone Kondo Bewa Shuo Nyami Nikje Sundyo Jube Lang Chize Sese Kanchen Chen Yue Guen Tono Pimo Tenzin Gyatso La Soa Deso Shen De Lu Shuo Shuo Kane Pende Malu Ba Kane Chungwe Sambe Yinshin Lu Katin Sume Tenzin Gyatso La Soa Deso Tu Shen Lu Shuo Shuo Kame Kesa Nye Rang Zong Lo San 给我也是给我介绍在心里教育法律被
天天没帮助别给来作用，
所做被对国界。
接到这边直接给我了。
那必须是被国家先出面解决拉玛说话的，
天天忙的就没过去过，
不要听到我给我一天到基督徒把这边我都好希望是电影面包，看到基督教是起码到第三到基督教了，不接都没得被养出啥辈数，
非常给
是别的有些说。你认为不会心康的分担的我爸妈的准备是，今天是我的这个作业小贝是的不同的。
自己去看书。
那选了。